Right now, dealing with sadness at what's supposed to be the most wonderful time of the year. Experts weigh in with help for those battling depression around the holidays. Plus, another day of cancellations and delays at airports across the country. How the winter storm fallout has left holiday travelers scrambling. And later, getting ready for the new year and the annual celebration that comes with it. It's all ahead right now at 10. Thanks for joining us tonight. Charlotte is off tonight. As the holiday season continues with New Year's this weekend, it is important to keep in mind that those battling grief or depression may not be celebrating. But as mental health experts told our Arman Rahman, just being there for them goes a long way. Arman?
Eric, of course, those feelings can come any time of year, but there's so much hype around the holidays that they're intensified. And when you're far from home or your loved ones are no longer with you. So experts tell me, if you notice someone's having a hard time, be non-judgmental, available, and inviting. It's called the most wonderful time of the year, but it can only dig up some people's hardest moments.
Unfortunately, this time of year can also be a reminder for who or what is missing from our lives.
It's easy for the holiday cards, songs, and traditions to go from being festive to being triggering.
All of a sudden, bam, you are saying, why do I feel this way?
For someone who may have experienced loss, no matter how long ago.
Grief has its own timetable. I think that we should be aware that that not everyone is feeling all that happy around this time, and to be sensitive to that.
Experts say you should not feel ashamed to have feelings of grief like anger, anxiety, and crying spells.
Be gentle with yourself. There are no shoulds. There's no one right way to feel. How you're feeling is valid. You know, how you're feeling is how you're feeling.
But if that escalates, it may be time to seek other help.
If it morphs into this overwhelming fatigue where you don't feel like getting out of bed for several days, or difficulty sleeping or sleeping too much, and it's gone on for several days.
If you're feeling distant from your circle during the holidays, it's a good opportunity to recalibrate yourself.
Even though it's not a permanent thing, it's more the perception that really feels like that. So you want to ground yourself. You want to try to control something. Good place to start is controlling your breathing.
And avoid isolation, no matter how easy it might be.
Be around people who care about you, whether it's a religious organization or your support group, whoever that may be.
And if you know someone struggling this time of year,
see what they want. Ask them how they need to be helped.
Make sure they know they aren't really alone.
And just getting that phone call and just knowing that other people see you and value you can make a big difference.
And Dr. Gooding says if kids in your family are celebrating without a loved one, it's an opportunity to acknowledge that with a special prayer, new tradition, or art idea. And of course, if you or someone you know is struggling with mental health issues, you can dial the crisis hotline, 988.
Arman, thank you. And while the worst of this weekend's winter weather is over with, there are still concerns for Dane County's homeless population. People have been lining up outside the men's shelter on Madison's east side at least an hour before it opens. Right now, shelters across Dane County are implementing extreme weather protocol. That means they will not turn anyone away due to capacity or shelter stay limits. Around the state in Waukesha, the city's police department says a water main burst today, spilling some 1 million gallons of water. This burst about 11:30 this morning. Took crews until about 6 tonight to fix it. They say the water spilled out at a rate of 8,300 gallons per minute. Lake Mendota, Madison's largest lake, now officially is frozen over. Happened on Christmas Day, in large part due to the recent cold stretch. This year a little later than normal, since the lake's median ice-on date is December 20th. To meet the Wisconsin State Climatology Office's criteria, the ice must hold for 24 hours before a lake can be declared frozen over. After the bitterly cold weather and dangerous conditions we saw last week, we finally got some relief on the way. It's coming in the next few days, and Julian Seawright has our certified most accurate forecast. Julian?
That's right, Eric. We do have some relief on the way, but until we get there, it's still going to be bitterly cold for us. And that's what we have for our Monday nights, transitioning into our Tuesday morning. Temperatures that are going to be well below zero, and the wind chills that will be feeling like they're in the negatives. For tonight, we're already going to hit our low, which is right now 4 degrees, and then we'll be bouncing back from 6 to 4 to 5 throughout the course of the night. Light winds coming in from the southwest are going to be bringing in a bit of that wind chill, but overall, things are still not going to be as terrible as they were this weekend. But on that scale, you know, anything is an improvement. Looking at 7 degrees below zero for Platteville, 3 degrees for Janesville is what it feels like as of right now. And as we continue throughout the rest of tonight, well, we are still going to see that bitterly cold temperatures. And for the rest of us, on the surface, we are going to be knocking on the door near 0 degrees. But for our 3 things that we're looking to know, it's just when we'll start to see that warm up and is anything else on the way before we ring in the new year. But we'll break all of that down in just a few moments. Until then, let's go ahead and toss it back to you, Eric.
Julian, thank you. And parts of New York have been hammered by this recent storm. At least 28 people have died in Erie County there, bringing the nationwide death toll to at least 60. The updated number of deaths there in Erie County, which includes the city of Buffalo, comes as parts of western New York remain buried by up to 43 inches of snow. In addition to round-the-clock work, hundreds of National Guard troops have also been deployed to help with rescue efforts there. And President Biden spoke with New York Governor Kathy Hochul earlier today to offer his condolences and also to get an update on the damage from this storm. The president tweeted out this picture and said in part, quote, "We stand ready to make sure they have the resources they need to get through this." And check out this video. The Bills players and staff returning home last night to find their vehicles buried in very deep snow following the blizzard. Local news reports said the team was stuck in Chicago after their game against the Bears on Christmas Eve, then flew into Rochester, New York on Christmas Day, and then were bussed back to their vehicles in Buffalo later that day. Thousands of Americans trying to get home from holiday gatherings are stranded at airports as the airline industry works to recover from a pre-Christmas storm that snarled travel. Christian Benavides has the latest.
It is the blizzard of the century.
More than 24 people have died in the pre-Christmas blizzard that pummeled Buffalo, New York. That death toll is expected to climb as first responders find bodies in homes, cars, and snowbanks. The storm dumped nearly 50 inches of snow. Up to a foot of new snow is expected by Tuesday afternoon.
Anyone who declares victory and says it's over, it is way too early to say. It is still a dangerous situation to be out.
President Biden has pledged the federal government's support. The storm that paralyzed Buffalo is part of a larger system that knocked out power to more than 6 million people and snarled air traffic across the country. Right now, thousands of travelers are stranded in airports from coast to coast.
I've had a 5-hour delay, then a cancellation at the end, and then a flight rebooked the next day, which was delayed. And then I had also had to rent a car.
Southwest Airlines apologized Monday after canceling more than 2/3 of its flights and delaying hundreds more. Travelers just want the nightmare to be over.
The fact that they said the flight is canceled and we don't have any association with any of the airlines, so I'm like, so you just leaving everybody out to dry.
As the frustration piles up, so does the luggage.
I'm picking up my sister's luggage, and they don't know nothing. They just told me I got to look for it. Yeah. So it's like just like finding a needle in a haystack.
It could be days before the travel chaos is sorted out. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
According to FlightAware, Southwest Airlines has already canceled more than 2,400 flights tomorrow. That's about 60% of its flight schedule. And some pretty cool video. This is out of New York City. The fountain at popular Bryant Park froze on Christmas Day. Now, this thing has a heating system that allows the ice to build up without damaging the fountain, and it only stays this way for a very short time. Obviously gotten a lot of attention there from visitors. Next at 10, 3 buses of recent migrant families arrived from Texas near the home of Vice President Kamala Harris in record-setting cold on Christmas Eve. Texas authorities have not confirmed their involvement, but the bus drop-offs are in line with previous actions by border state governors. The buses arrived late Saturday and were carrying around 110 to 130 people. Some were wearing only T-shirts, despite temperatures hovering around 15 degrees. For the first time, Russian President Vladimir Putin says Moscow is ready for talks to end the 10-month-long war in Ukraine. Today, Russia said it struck down a Ukrainian drone approaching an airbase deep inside Russian territory. And while Russian attacks on Ukraine continue, Putin said in a state television interview he is, quote, ready for talks to end the war. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told U.S. lawmakers last week that there can be no compromise as long as Russia occupies any part of Ukraine. And on the Korean Peninsula, some growing tension. South Korea's military fired warning shots at North Korean drones that violated the South's airspace. This is the first time since 2018 that North Korea has violated it. When the drones crossed the border, South Korea scrambled aircraft and helicopters to intercept. It is not yet clear whether the drones were shot down. Major developments in China tonight in the country's fight against COVID-19. Lifting its zero COVID measures may have eased pressure on Chinese citizens who've lived in a perpetual state of lockdown, but now the country is buckling under a massive surge of the virus. Riley Carlson reports.
Patients flood into this Beijing emergency department as busy staffers try to keep up with the most recent wave of COVID-19. Our daily workload is huge, says this head nurse. We've reached our capacity of 530 patients. There's nowhere else in the hospital to move them.
The ER filled up with people. A lot of them got admitted to the hospital. They're not getting better in a day or two, so there's no flow.
Experts fear more than 1 million people could die over the next few months as the virus tears its way across the country. The health authority says it will stop publishing daily infection and death statistics. Beijing has admitted the scale of this outbreak has become too hard to track. Thousands of fever clinics have popped up to keep mild infections away from busy hospitals. Pharmaceutical companies are increasing production of anti-fever and cough medication, this one doubling output in the last 20 days. Vaccine booster campaigns are ramping up again, especially for the elderly. There are concerns not enough people have had a second or third shot, and more variants could emerge from this outbreak. Riley Carlson, CBS News, London.
China suspended most of its mass testing and quarantine rules last month after widespread protests. More local news now. A new Miss Wisconsin has been crowned. Kylene Spanbauer taking over the role from Grace Stanke, who was recently crowned Miss America. The 23-year-old Spanbauer was named first runner-up at the Miss Wisconsin competition back in June. She's a Fond du Lac native who was previously Miss Harbor Cities and Miss Wisconsin's Outstanding Teen of 2016. We'll take a look at this. The numbers 2023 installed atop One Times Square today. This is ahead of this weekend's New Year's celebration. The giant 7-foot-tall numerals were driven from California, and their lights were tested in Times Square last week. Still ahead tonight at 10, your forecast for the rest of the work week. We finally get a bit of a break from the bitterly cold weather, but first, the American Red Cross forced to cancel a pair of local blood drives this past week. How they hope to make up for it next.
Make this December one to remember together. Happy holidays from Lexus.
Get special offers on the 2023 ES350.
We can't help what you do before you go to bed, but we can make sure the sleep is solid once you finally get there. And during the New Year's super sale at Denver Mattress, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Or purchase a Tempur-Pedic and get a $300 gift. Or check out the budget-friendly Summit Firm, only $279.99. Plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Here's to 365 nights of better sleep. Happy New Year from Denver Mattress.
Only a wise and lucky few understand the amazing benefits of real sauna bathing. Leisure Concepts has Finnish and infrared saunas that set up in a flash and will get you through winter happy and healthy. Now watch closely to see my favorite part of sauna bathing. Get to Leisure Concepts on the Beltline at the Park Street exit.
Sometimes a cough isn't just a cough, so it's better to be prepared. Keeping Binax Now handy makes it easy to test. And self-test kits may be reimbursable with no copay through your health plan. With Binax Now, you'll have reliable results in 15 minutes with the self-test that features the same technology doctors use and detects multiple variants, including Omicron BA.5. So you can always be prepared with Binax Now, the #1 COVID-19 self-test in the U.S.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Make this December one to remember together. Happy holidays from Lexus.
Get special offers on select Lexus models.
I'm News 3 Now's Josh Spreiter. I'm visiting the people, places, and events that make this area one of a kind. Tell me what inspires you, and it might be featured on News 3 Now this morning.
In the 608, weekdays on News 3 Now this morning. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. Discounts and deals apparently swayed people into spending more this holiday season. Today, MasterCard reported holiday retail sales in the U.S. jumped over 7.5% compared to last year. The company looked at sales in store and online from November 1st through Christmas Eve. We touched on this briefly earlier in the show, how Southwest Airlines has had to cancel more than 60% of its flights today and tomorrow. But now we're learning about some of the airports experiencing the very worst issues here. They include Denver, Las Vegas, BWI in Baltimore, Love Field in Dallas, along with Chicago's Midway. And this video here is from Midway. It shows all of the unclaimed luggage there. Southwest says customers whose flights have been canceled can get a full refund or receive a flight credit, which they say will not expire. Bad weather also impacting the blood supply. The American Red Cross asking you to shake up your holiday plans and consider donating. Last week's storm cost the Red Cross nearly 1,000 donations, but the need for blood, it doesn't take a holiday break. Andrew Banstra reports.
Trauma patients, new parents in need of life-saving transfusions, that doesn't take a holiday break.
That's why the American Red Cross is asking for blood donors. The holiday season combined with last week's severe weather has put them behind the 8 ball.
We canceled 2 of our larger blood drives in the state, the one here in Madison, and there was one in Green Bay. And then we also closed all of our blood donor centers. And so we have about around 900 uncollected units of blood.
Between hundreds of canceled donations and trauma caused by the severe weather, winter storms create a severe need.
That's why it's important that if folks, if you're eligible, if you're healthy, you feel good, you're able to, make an appointment and donate blood. We're looking for all types of blood.
This month, when you donate, you'll also get a free Red Cross long sleeve t-shirt, the Christmas present you didn't know you needed. Not to mention the lives you'll save.
One donation can save up to 3 lives. And so that's why it's so important to give back. And as I said, the need for blood is constant. It doesn't take a holiday.
Making an appointment is as easy as the click of a button. And even if you can't make it this week, there are a bounty of options.
In the Madison area, we've got our east and west side donation centers. We also have some big drives, even going on this week in the Madison area, from Middleton to Monona. So there's a lot of opportunities to make an appointment and give that precious gift of life back to folks.
That was our Andrew Banstra reporting. Donating blood takes about 45 minutes. To make an appointment and find a list of blood drives being held over the next week, head to this story at channel3000.com. Next at 10, today is the start of Kwanzaa. The White House celebrating by putting out a pair of pre-recorded videos online. Unlike many other winter holidays, Kwanzaa isn't tied to any single religion. The holiday is aimed at honoring African Americans' ancestral roots. Kwanzaa is celebrated each year from December 26th through January 1st. And although Christmas has come and gone, today is National Candy Cane Day, observed every year on the 26th. Not exactly clear when candy canes came into existence, but according to one source, references to the candy cane started popping up in literature back in 1866, and they were first associated with Christmas as early as 1874. Julian Seawright joins us now with more details on when the cold spell will break and his certified most accurate forecast. A few days to go.
Just a few days to go, bringing in the new year with some nice warm air. And as we get into it, this is what we're looking at. 10 days, 6 to 10 day forecast. We are looking for temperatures to be well above seasonable throughout not just Wisconsin, but for the upper Midwest and our friends to the east as well, which means we're going to be seeing temperatures that are going to be breaking past this cold spell that we've had over the last couple of weeks. So our headlines for our 3 things we'll need to know. It's going to be bitterly cold tonight, but at least we have a mild trend in the days ahead, especially once we get to Wednesday. We're going to finally break out of that freezing point during the daytime that has just been ravaging throughout much of the upper Midwest. We do have a couple of shower chances as we get closer towards the new year. We'll dive into that in just a few moments. But for tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures to still be rather cold, but not as cold as for today. Our high was around 17 degrees today. Tomorrow, we're looking around 24 degrees for Madison, and many of us will be into the lower to middle 20s throughout the course of the day. Now, walking through how your Tuesday morning will start. It's going to start cold, folks, so make sure you're bundling up. We're going to see those winds not really intensify until we get into around the lunchtime hour, and that's when the sky is going to break up just a bit. And we have an opportunity for a few hours of seeing plenty of sun throughout much of our Tuesday afternoon, but Tuesday evening, the winds will start to really amp up quite a bit coming in from the south. You know what that means? It means we're going to see temperatures a bit warmer than what they've have been over the last couple of days. But with those breezy conditions, just note it's still going to be rather chilly as we get into our Tuesday nights. And then transitioning into Wednesday morning, the good news is from Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, temperatures are going to be rather steady into the middle 20s. They're actually slowly going to rise to that point, which means once we get to our Wednesday afternoon, ta-da, we are actually breaking past the freezing point for us. Lower 30s, mid-30s throughout much of southern Wisconsin by the time we get into our afternoon hours, and plenty of sunshine once we roll into our Wednesday as well. The caveat, though, is that it's going to be rather breezy. And we'll see those winds sustained from 20 to 30 miles per hour in gusts throughout tomorrow, going into our Wednesday as well. So be prepared for things to be rather breezy throughout the course of the next couple of days, but those will die out by the time we get into our Thursday. Now, looking at our next 10 days, normally around this time of year, it's around 29 degrees is what we are on average. So we are really going to be spiking, especially once we get into Thursday, almost 20 degrees higher than normal for this time of year. And then once we walk into the new year, we're looking at temperatures to be close to 40, if not at 40 degrees as well. And for New Year's Eve, just be mindful we could see a potential of some showers that could even mix with some snow overnight, especially going into our Saturday into our early Sunday. But Sunday in itself looks to be rather dry as of right now, but then going into the next week, the first week of January, we do have opportunities to see a bit more activity, especially some mixing going into our Monday night, into our early Tuesday as well. But the good news is temperatures look to stay above freezing once we get past Wednesday, at least for the next few days.
From 5 straight losses mid-season to now 3 straight wins, the Packers are turning it around at the right time. We're going to hear from the team when we return on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
With Pick and Save delivery, it's easy to get your special holiday foods brought right to your door. And that's music to your ears. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
What's the matter, hon?
There's nothing to do.
You should check out Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home with a 95% average payout.
And with so many slot machines, there's a game for every kind of player. They're right, honey.
And with new promotions and reward club perks all the time, there are more ways to win than ever before.
Find your fun and visit Ho Chunk Gaming Madison today.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Now, what is happening?
Waiting. Sometimes it's just inevitable. But if you're over 50 or live with a chronic condition, waiting could be deadly. Because conditions like heart disease or diabetes raise your risk of serious illness or death from untreated COVID. And if you don't get treatment within days, you may not be able to get treatment. So, got COVID symptoms? Get tested and get treated right away. It can't wait.
Why get the updated COVID-19 vaccine? Because life's a little better when we're all boosted. It's the best way to protect yourself from COVID-19's most serious effects, especially if you're over 50 or have a weaker immune system. Give your health a boost. Find the updated COVID-19 vaccine near you at dhs.wisconsin.gov/vaccine.
The holidays are for making memories, and you can count on Honda to help you make them. Whether it's in a capable Ridgeline, adventurous CRV, a rugged Passport, or a dynamic Pilot. Start making memories of your own with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Did you know some of your detergent's fragrance disappears in the dryer? Downy In-Wash Scent Boosters survive the washer and dryer for freshness that lasts 6 times longer than detergent alone. Release freshness with every touch with Downy In-Wash Scent Boosters.
Introducing Sass, Sauce and Shells, a bold new restaurant on Madison's Capitol Square, combining the best of barbecue and shelled seafood by Chef Joe Perkins. Add a little sass to your lunch or dinner plans today. Open 7 days a week.
Keep your holidays all your fresh favorites from Pick and Save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
When it comes to bowl games, Wisconsin knows how to step up and perform. I mean, the Badgers have won 7 of their last 8. And just because it's been an up and down season with lots of changes, this team is looking to close out the year with another win. The Guaranteed Rate Bowl kicks off in 24 hours out in Phoenix, and it pits Wisconsin against Oklahoma State for the first time ever. The team's taking part in Media Day this afternoon, where Luke Fickell had a chance to share why bowl games are so important.
It's an exciting time for us, and obviously there's a lot of changes that are going on within our program, but for right now, the most important thing is about these guys and about the ability to finish out this season. This is what bowls are all about. It's a celebration. It's a way to kind of finish up a season and obviously reflect a little bit on that, but to celebrate what it is that these guys have done and the sacrifices that they've made, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Packers flipped a switch when December arrived. They started the month with a win. Then they came back from their bye to win back-to-back contests, including yesterday's come from behind in Miami. But hey, that's what they got to do if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. The Pack knows that they got to win out, while also getting some help from other teams if they want to keep things going. And this end-of-season spark is certainly not going unnoticed.
Speaks to the character of the men in that locker room and our coaches and just everybody sticking together, because you see it get sideways in a hurry in this league, and you know they battled and fought being down in a couple of these games, and just that's something we talk about all the time, but until you really put in the fire and you gotta be able to handle it.
The Nathaniel Hackett era in Denver is over. Not even one season into it. Denver fired the former Packer offensive coordinator less than 24 hours after the Broncos lost to the Rams in a game where they gave up 51 points. Hackett was 4-11 in the 15 games as the head coach of the franchise. After not playing a game last week, the Badger men's basketball team jumped up 2 spots to sit 15th in the latest AP Top 25. Greg Gard's squad is one of 3 Big Ten teams ranked in the poll. Purdue leads the way at number 1, followed by UConn and Houston. UW is off until Friday when they wrap up their non-conference schedule against Western Michigan. Remember, the Badgers haven't played since December 15th. Current Badger Charlie Strammel rocking the red, white, and blue in the 2023 IIHF World Junior Championships. The United States and Latvia facing off for the opening game. Team USA wins it 5-2. Strammel finishes with an assist. We'll be right back.
What you see is important. How you see is important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Right now, get 40% off lenses with the purchase of any frames. Shopko Optical.
Add character from floor to ceiling with help from Menards. Upgrade your home today with Shaw Flooring. From soft and luxurious carpet to durable laminate flooring or waterproof vinyl plank, save big on Shaw Flooring. Find your style with Patriot Lighting. Ceiling fans make a beautiful addition to any room while helping you save on energy costs year-round. Save big money on Patriot Lighting ceiling fans right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
It's the Planet Fitness You Can Still Join a Gym in 2022 sale. Now through December 30th, join for just $1 down, $10 a month, and you can still do that thing you said you'd do 11 and a half months ago. All with no commitment, cancel anytime. Get tons of equipment in our clean and spacious clubs. It's not too late. This can still be your year. Simply join through the free PF app for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and pay nothing until January 17th. Hurry, deal ends Friday, December 30th.
At Chevy, the holidays mean going places and doing things you love to do with friends and family. Visit your local Chevy dealer, and when you find your red tag, you find your deal. Then make the most of your time with the people who matter most. Find new moments, find new roads. Well-qualified buyers can get 3.99% financing plus $500 red tag bonus cash on all Equinox models, or find your red tag and get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Equinox models. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Attention mothers, did you take Tylenol or other acetaminophen pain-relieving products while pregnant? Recent evidence suggests children whose mothers took Tylenol while pregnant may be more likely to develop autism. Other acetaminophen products at risk include Excedrin, NyQuil, Dayquil, and other store-brand pain relievers. Children with autism have a hard time interacting with others. Those on the spectrum usually begin exhibiting social symptoms by the time they're 8 to 10 months old. Call now for a free confidential consultation.
Please call 800-379-7867.
Hi, I'm Gary Canulti, inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join me May 2nd through the 12th as we tour Scotland and Northern Ireland. This trip is rich with history, exploring places like the Edinburgh Castle and the Titanic Belfast Museum. We'll also enjoy the gorgeous scenery and friendly people of these two unique countries. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, for more information and to watch a travel show. Or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, for more information.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
The Packers battle the Vikings Sunday at 3:25.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally tonight, a one-of-a-kind vehicle is going up for grabs, and it won't come cheap. Bugatti's Chiron Profile E, the company's latest purely gas-powered supercar, has a 16-cylinder engine. It can reach 236 miles per hour. Sotheby's, which is auctioning off the vehicle, did not comment on questions about an estimated value. However, competitor company named Broad Arrow estimates the car could be worth up to $8 million. That auction scheduled for February 1st in Paris.
That company is my dad's like dream car.
Dream car?
Yeah, if you ever hit the lottery.
Make a bid.
First thing is ever get.
$8 million they're talking there. Man, 236 miles an hour. Not safe on those roads out there, Julian. You don't want to go 236.
No, not at all. Because it is cold and it's slippery, so folks, make sure that you are aware that some spots are going to be a little bit slick for our morning commute for tomorrow. But the good news is we are heading towards warmth, and that's warmth for the winter. 40 degrees is actually going to be a 70 for us here in Wisconsin. So it's going to feel great, especially as we welcome in the new year with temperatures still near 40 degrees.
9:15 kickoff tomorrow night, is that right?
9:15, yes.
All right, they're going to be warm out there in the desert.
Yes, they are.
All right, we'll have a final preview tomorrow at 6. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10. Folks, have a great night.